is a catalog. You're able to basically go into the catalog and choose the items, and then you gotta fill all the required information. So I'm gonna put test JM 323. So that's the thing. Yeah. Again, category would be basically like the commodity code. Once you go browse through all for the first time and you keep using once you select the commodity code for any future requests, they will display on here. You don't need to click on the browse all anymore. Also for services, this will be on here. Yeah, this is for like leases, maintenance, any type of service that you're gonna be handling with the supplier. You will create this as a service. Um, so yes. All right, quantity will be 5, 25, and then view all suppliers. You could select the supplier here, or once you add it to the cart, you can complete checkout. And then you can add the supplier on in this case. Let's say if you have a quote that has multiple line items, and you're going to use the same fund account. So basically, you go to manage details, and you're going to select the fund, and then once you select the fund and everything, you'll be able to what's it called? This will be selected for every line item. Now, if there's a split account, like if you want to split the accounting, then you would change this to split accounting, this tab here. And once you do the split accounting, you have the option for percentage, quantity, and amount. The amount, basically 50%. And then if you have more than, it's only going to provide 2. But if you have more than 2, you just keep adding the add split button. And then you keep adding and adding. Let's say if you got 10 of them, you want to split to 10 funds or WBS, you have that option. And then it will go through the approval paths. Once you basically complete the required fields and you hit the submit button, you'll be able to see all the approval paths for the specific request. All right, so I'm gonna go delete this.
Jorge, before we move on, we have a question in the chat. Will invoice requests provide a copy of the vendor's invoices?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Invoice requests will provide a copy of the vendor's invoices, yes or no?
That is correct. So all the invoices basically will be managed through the portal. Now, there are going to be some suppliers that won't be interacting through the portal, and those suppliers will be handled, the process will be handled manually. But if the supplier is in the portal and has an account in the portal, they will interact within the portal. Because the way it works is, and I'll give a brief demonstration on as a supplier how it works. So when they receive the PO, they have to submit the order confirmation first before they submit an invoice. Once they submit an order confirmation, then they have the option to submit the invoice. Now they could do partial invoicing depending if they have the product availability, or they could fully invoice the entire. Now, as a requester, you do have an option that's here where you like to review the invoice for this order before it's paid. Now, I'm gonna make this a mandatory field because I think it's best practice. So that way there won't be any issues for all invoices to be used. Reviewed before it gets paid. Because there's been a lot of instances that invoice gets submitted to AP and they get paid without even receiving the goods or even completing services. So I'm gonna make this feel mandatory for everyone. So every invoice that basically comes in will have to be approved by the fund approver, and um, then it will get submitted to AP. Hopefully, that answers any questions.
Jorge,
Any-
question.
Hey, Annie.
Hi, dear. Hi, Jorge. Question.
Yeah.
With the split billing, you said in manage details,
Right.
it would show up if it's 10 line items in a quote. Is there a copy paste all? What if it's a 3-way split and you want it on all 10 items? Do you have to go into each line item and do the 3-way split? Or can you go to the first line item and is there a copy paste all, anything like that? Or not really?
If it's 10 line items, so remember, the split accounting is per line item. You know what? I haven't tested that scenario. That is a good point. I'm gonna write that down. I haven't
Because
tested.
even if it's a regular, if it's not a non-catalog, just a regular order,
Right.
not with a quote, like a VWR,
Yeah.
10 line items, and you want a 2 or 3-way split, which could happen a lot.
Right.
And you just, in the old system, copy paste all on the first line item, and then all 10 get the multiple accounts. Will that happen here in the new system?
In this case, I gotta test that scenario to see. I'm not sure. I will have to get back to you on that. I think you have to do it manually.
Line item by line item.
That has to be changed. Sorry, I mean we don't have time to do that manually.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you will have to implement that in the new system.
Yeah, because
Right.
it's very time consuming if we have to go line item by line item.
I will agree with you. I haven't tested that scenario to see if I put the option on here and then the split for every line item. So I will do that test today and I will get back to everyone on that.
Thank you.
And while I'm doing it, I'll record myself so that way you guys can have a recording for that as well.
Everything okay? Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so now it gets back to the issue at hand, which is we need for you to take a look at Stephen
Hey, folks, can you please mute yourself because we hear someone's.
No, we're asking for your assessment about how he's
We hear
done.
someone's either television or other recording going on.
Monitor just went down there and came back up.
Not sure.
Very nice. We'll have to make it the corner.
Can the host not mute everyone?
That's a nice brush.
Yeah, we'll mute everyone. Jorge, quick question. There are actually 2 questions in the chat. Will I be
I don't
able,
think I can hear you, Lucy, over the Steve feature.
Someday soon.
I muted that person.
thanks, Jorge.
No problem.
Okay, 2 questions for Jorge. Will
Yeah.
I be able to still monitor where the approval status is with approvers?
Yes. So let me exit out of here so that way you can see something that's basically like ordered. So basically, when you submit the request, these are all the approvals. So when you're in your request and you go in there, you're gonna see if it's pending or not. So right now, all this is checked off. So that means everybody has approved. And as a manager, let's say for example, as a manager, while you approving, you want you want a certain somebody to approve this as well. You can also have that option to add. So that can be on there as well. Hope that
Jorge, we
answers-
have a couple more questions. Is it possible to discuss returns on incorrect items in this demo? Will we have time for that?
So returns. Returns are handled in a manual process, basically, it doesn't get handled through Ariba. You had to contact the supplier. The supplier would basically the supplier has the option to do a credit memo through the network, and then but they still have to basically give you the return label and all that stuff, by email. That doesn't get handled through Ariba. But the process for like the credit memos and all that stuff, that does get handled through Ariba. And that will be basically, it will fall under the requisition. So for
We had
example,
one other question. Can we extend the date beyond the end of the current FYR if necessary?
Fiscal year, that was me.
oh,
Okay,
Sorry.
full year.
Fiscal year.
no. So it will be the same process as today. Everything will be handled on a yearly basis, fiscal year basis.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you have, like, for example, you have leases,
Mhm.
any service agreements beyond the fiscal year, then yes, you can go beyond that because those are service agreements, those are lease agreements or rental agreement, whatever you want to call it. Those have terms. So let's say the term is 5 years, you put those terms in for 5 years, and let's say in a year or two, your WBS changes, your fund changes, we could readjust that in the requisition. And what's it called? And then it will still continue as the same PO.
Okay.
So,
So that would be allowable if it were a service,
correct.
only under a service. It can't be under a good
No,
material, rather.
because material is like
Right.
supposed to be a one-time purchase.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
So no problem.
We have another question, Jorge. I
Yeah.
usually make POs on behalf of other labs. Can other people review the invoices from the vendor and approve the invoices for payment? If so, how is that done?
So basically, that will fall under as a team cart. So basically, you request on behalf. Request on behalf, and then you choose the person in this, basically for that person, and now you're acting as that person. So now, since you're acting as that requester, you basically go through the process as requesting non-catalog. You enter the product name, the category, and then you follow basically the steps. Once you hit the submit button, then again, I'm gonna make the field mandatory, so that way everybody can review the invoice. And once the PO is completed and submitted to the supplier, you're able that invoice will go to that requester, not you. I hope that answers the question.
Question, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So question, you're saying, okay, so you want the invoices to be reviewed. So for example, any vendor, BWR, whoever, you will get the invoice before it is paid out to the vendor.
Correct.
I should then send it to the lab people, the researchers, to say, yes, we received or not, correct?
Right. Correct. So
Okay.
I'm trying to see if.
So then would I be doing the request on behalf for that so that they get the invoice versus I?
Yes, you can. Yes.
I'm just thinking they're so busy, they probably won't look at it.
So you would have to make that call yourself.
Okay,
So basically, like, if you know they're not gonna go into the system, you shouldn't do that.
no.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that because
No, I'll receive it, I'll get the invoice and then I'll just send it to them for approval, I
correct.
think. Okay,
Right.
okay, thank you.
No problem.
Ray, we have a couple other questions.
Yeah.
And then someone's also making a suggestion. Can we leave the questions to the end and see the demo, which is actually an excellent idea. And I
Yeah.
really like to ask, we'll take these last two, and then if we can hold our questions till the end, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay, the last two we had were, how do you get notified that an invoice came in?
It will be via email.
Okay. The next one is for the ITS and admin team, our entire team is included in our team carts. Is there a way to make this default setting when we place any order?
For which one? Repeat that again. I'm sorry.
No problem. For the ITS administration team, our entire team is included in our team carts. Is there a way to make this a default setting when we place any order?
We'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay, we will, and we are turning all of these into an FAQ, folks, so feel confident we'll answer all the questions. So let's hold until the end. Thanks so much.
All right, so I'm going to do a test right quick. Actually, I'm gonna stop. So right now I'm acting like on behalf of another person. I'm gonna press stop so I can go back to my regular, profile. Requesting non-catalog, product name, so test GM. I'm going to add to cart. I just want to give an insight on something that's over 10,000 with a non-preferred supplier. So in the system, we basically created, if you go over 10,000 with a preferred supplier, you're not going to need 3 quotes, sole source, or letter justification. But if it's a non-preferred supplier, we're going to give you the option of basically providing the letter justification, 3 quotes, or the sole source justification. Then once you click on that, then you're able to move forward with the request. As you see, it's the submit button got highlighted. So if you do not select these, you're not able to submit the requisition. That is that point. And then, basically you will attach the sole source, 3 quotes, or the letter justification. Accounting fund. All right. So I'm gonna hit submit. All right, now it's done. So now, as you see, the PO has been the requisition has been submitted to purchasing approval. So now I had to log into as purchasing, so I could approve that request, and we'll now show you how that looks on your end when you're approving a requisition. All right, so now as an approver, so you will basically see this on here. Sorry, log me out. So basically, when you log into WBG, you know your to-do items, that number is going to appear on here for you to do. Basically, your approvals or whichever you need to review. Once you click on that, then it's going to take you on to this page here, your approvals, and then you're going to basically review your request. So as you see, this is the cart that I created. So I can go to see details. Basically look at what the request is purchasing, any comments that they put. As you know, quote is required. So, I'll review the attachment, make sure the attachment follows the description of the line item. If everything looks good, then approve. Now it goes on to the next approver. And then to see who else is next in line, you can just go to recent approvals and you go to see details. This would be the same way as the requester. You're gonna see it on the requested side, and then you're gonna see who's next in line. When you drag the mouse to the little circle here with the blue dot, you're gonna see all the approvers that's in this queue. Then you're able to at least ping whoever will be available that so they could approve the requisition. So you have access to that. So let me log in as this person. Have to approve that. We'll go to your approvals again. Click on approve. Then I'm gonna go to one more approval. Again, you're gonna see everybody's name on here, and you'll contact that person for the next approval that's in line. Sorry. All right, we'll approve this last one. Perfect. Okay. Now, I'm gonna log in as the requester again. So the requester is gonna get an email, and so is the supplier, stating that there's been a PO that's been issued. All right, so now you go to your request. Then automatically, once you get the email, you're gonna see this here where it says purchase order. This is your PO number. You go on there, and then you're able to see the PO. Now, if you want to get a document, you basically click this button here, view an SAP Ariba procurement. This is gonna take you to the spend management website. So you click on that, and then you will see the summary of your entire order. So on here, you basically see the invoices, order confirmation, any payments, and the whole entire history. Should have gotten an email by now, but I don't. Yeah, I should have gotten an email by now. I want to show you the process for how the supplier is invoicing. I think that's what it is. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second. Got the username. I think I got it. Let me see. No, it didn't come up. Okay. So this is the supplier, right? So I'm acting as a supplier. So as I see activity feed, order has been received. So I received the order. I'm gonna review the order. So I click on new orders. Again, this is just showing as a supplier. You don't have to do anything like this, but I'm just showing how the process works on the supplier's end. So they'll click on basically the order that they received today. Now, the first thing they need to do, as you see, they can create an invoice. So, and then they also basically will see who's it from. I'm still working on these details. They have to add basically the request's information on here. And then who's it going to? And then the payment terms. Payment terms would reflect the discount for that supplier, if there is a discount within the contract, or and the net payment terms, which is the standard is 30 days. Then they'll basically see the terms and conditions and the line item. This is changing as well. This has to come first before this. So I'm still working out there with them. But the ship to all items basically will have all the information from the building to the phone number to the end user's email. I'm also going to be adding the name on there as well. Bill to will basically be AP, and then the deliver to this will be you have the option to edit this field upon requisitioning, who you want it to deliver to, attention to, or whichever name it is, if it's not you. Then line items, basically click on the details and they will see what exactly they want to order. So everything looks good to me. So I create an order confirmation. Now you can reject the entire order if you're not able to fulfill the order, or let's say if the supplier only has 2 out of 5, then they could update the line items. So they have that option as well. Oh, I clicked on it. So again, they could update the line, confirm, back order, or reject. So they give you that option. So once they submit that, you get that back in your email stating what's been confirmed, what's been back ordered, or what's been rejected. And then they'll attach, whichever documentation they need to attach. They also can put the comments on here for you to see on, if they have any rejection or when they able to fulfill the other items, if it's back ordered, stuff like that. Let me exit this. Okay. So I'm gonna create the confirm entire order. So I'm gonna put CO. 04. What's the PO number? 548. Then they're able to put the estimation shipping date. Let's say 5. Delivery date will be 28. They also have the option for shipping costs. So it'll be $50. And then they could choose the file. They basically, anything they need to attach. Then you click next. Everything looks good as far as confirmation. There's any attachments or supplier reference number. They put that in there. They have that option. And then you're fulfilling the whole entire order. Then they hit submit. So now the invoice option is able to be created. So as I told you, if you're going to return something, the supplier is able to basically send you a line item credit memo. Once they do that, they're able to basically select the line item. Well, there's no invoice. That's why it's not letting me. So once they what's it called? Once they could do the the line item, the credit memo, they could do that on their end. So I'm gonna create a standard invoice. So I'll put IMV 548. Then tax, this field we tried to have it mandatory removed, but it's not allowed. So the supplier has to remove this. So that way it won't, because we're tax exempt. Then the shipping will be basically, persons, who's it going to, the name. They can also have the option to edit. Let's say if you call them like, hey, actually, can you change the delivery to this person? Then, they can make the change on their end. Additional fields, the supplier is able to put, if you have an account with them, they put the account number on there, customer reference number, if it's a service, when it will start, when it will end, and then they select, they click on next, and basically this is how the invoice is going to appear. Basically all the information will be on here: supplier's name, who did it go to, who's the bill to, who's the customer, then the shipping information, and then you're gonna see the payment terms, the PO number, and the line item level. Then you hit submit, and that's pretty much it. That's the invoice gets submitted, and then I didn't select that button. That was my mistake. So in your requests, so when you click on here, view an SAP Ariba procurement, so you're gonna see your status as confirmed. That means the supplier confirmed the order, and it still didn't give me the option. But you're gonna see, I see received order confirmation. So you will see all that information on here, and you will also get an email. Let's see it. So now the invoice was submitted for payment, but since I didn't select to have the invoice reviewed, it's already in status to be paid through the system. So yeah, see, it's being pushed and it's sent. So it's currently is in paying status. So that's how it views on this end. All right, I'm gonna stop because I know it's a lot to consume. Any questions on this portion?
There were questions in the chat that unfortunately we didn't get to. And let's see, one of them was, do you still have to enter the vendor number?
You can. So let me go back to that page. Guided by. Let me select one that's composing. So here, let me click on edit. So when you select the supplier, so you browse through all, and then you're able to either, if you have the vendor number, you know, it will appear. Or if you have the name, it will appear. If you type in Dell, that will appear as well. Now, once you choose a supplier, you don't have to go in there again. So you just have to, you know, it will be here automatically. So you have both options. Hope that helps. All right, next question.
Sure, there was one on LOCs, and we are going to have a separate demo on LOCs in the next couple of weeks. How do we determine the amount remaining on a line of credit PO?
So that goes under. Sorry, hold on. Let me mute this phone. That's gonna go under BI. So that will fall under there.
Okay, perfect. I'm
And
gonna set it. Do we have a FedEx account number or yes? So I'm gonna put her that and I'm gonna put her temporary. Oh, you know me, wait.
can I put them on mute? I can't.
Okay. Then I'll wait. Okay.
I got it.
Thanks, sorry.
No problem. So yeah, so basically you will be able, so we already tested some scenarios like that for the LLC. So the balance remaining will be on the BI report. And that will be a separate session for that. So now the LLC part, remember, the LLC is only to be created only for when you are creating a non-catalog or catalog PO. That's what it's going to be used for. So yeah, and that will fall under here. So basically, so let's say, see what is it? If I find it right here. So let's say I'm creating this requisition. So see this earmark funds document. So LLC is going to be called earmarks funds. So you will click on this, and then you will click on basically your LLC, or you could browse through your LLC number, and then you search for it, you click on it, and once you click on the LLC amount, let me just click on. Once you click on it, then your requisition gets automatically approved. It doesn't have to go through the approval path anymore and stuff like that. The reason why I'm still saying that the LLC is still in the works is because we're having an issue with the connection from the back end and Ariba. So I don't want to give you a halfway demo and you're not understanding the process. But I could give you an overall how that process is. The LLC is basically going to be like the fund reservations. So fund reservations will be eliminated. Any fund reservation that's currently in scope today will remain until that fund reservation expires. Now I know there's some fund reservations out there that requires manual, for internal purposes. So that's going to be for finance to do. But as far as everything else, everything will be handled by for services. Like if you have leases, real estate, stuff like that, that will be handled through services. And yeah, hope that helps.
Jorge, question.
Yes.
To presently, every single one of my orders is viewable to my team members, team cards.
Yep.
So we'll have the same option in the new system to
Yes.
set it from the beginning so that every single order is viewable.
That is correct. Yeah, so that will be buy with a team.
Okay.
You know, I don't have no teams. So basically, you know, you go to your profile, you manage your teams, and then you add the person. And then you
Okay.
click your team name, and then you keep adding, you know, who you need to add on there.
So every time I need to place an order via catalog or non-catalog, I do buy with the team.
Correct.
Okay.
So that
Thank
way
you.
everybody can have access to view it.
Thank you.
Sure. Any more questions?
Anything else for Jorge? And feel free to email us at the mailbox if you need to. That's the email box where you receive the invitation to this meeting. And there will be just a ton of communication in the next few weeks. And we know this is confusing, and we know that, you know, these kinds of changes are difficult for people. And that's why we're doing the most we possibly can to support everyone. Our training team is doing a great job. They're going to be pulling together job aids, a self-paced course, as well, all to be offered in the next few weeks. And we'll get those dates out to everyone and the location of the materials. And then post go live, they're going to be offering coaching labs where people can get personal assistance. So we're going to be doing as much as possible. There's a question, when will we be expected to use Ariba? Ariba is going live on May 2nd. So all the old systems are going to be frozen, I believe. Jorge, is that
So
April 23rd or 25th? I'm sorry.
yeah, so it's gonna be the 23rd. Let me confirm that. So a notification will be sent out on, let me see, April 25th actually. So April 25th is going to be a system freeze. So there will be no orders being placed for that week. So any orders that you need to handle, please have it done before this week as much as possible, because we want to get everything approved by the 29th.
And we will be sending a communication out next week about all that. So, and we'll repeat that communication on a weekly basis.
Right. And yeah, so every week we're going to submit that notification to everyone in the WCM community, so that way they could be aware of what's going on. Also, I have the training team on this phone call as well. So I am working with them, providing, you know, step-by-step directions with job aids and all that fun stuff. You know, so, you know, you got my 100% support on this. And again, I'm here for you guys once we go live. There's also going to be a training session, and I'll have Pauline, if she's on, if she could speak about the training session for a little bit.
Yeah, so the training team is working on developing a series of job aids. We're going to revamp the current course, which you'll all be invited to take once we have that ready for you, probably at least a week before the go live date. You'll be able to sign online and have that on your learning plan. There'll also be a lot of job aids put out, and we're going to be holding together with Jorge the week of the 25th. We'll be having what we call readiness webinars, where we'll highlight the main changes and do some of the system demos. And week of go live, possibly even beyond that, 2 to 3 weeks beyond go live, we'll be holding regularly scheduled coaching labs where you can come in with your work online into a Zoom session, and we'll be happy to answer all of your specific questions. We can do screen shares in those sessions, and we can guide you through whatever it is that you need.
And I'm sorry, the go live date again was when?
May
May
2nd.
2nd.
May 2nd. Thank you.
There's also a question out here. Could you provide contact info if we need assistance once Ariba goes live? One of the things we'll be talking about is how we're going to support Ariba. So you'll be receiving communication on that. In addition to that, and some of these people are on the call, we have an entire group of super users, and all of their names are posted on our website. And in one of the early communications that you got from us, there's actually a link to the website, and we'll remind everyone of what that is again. So you'll just want to look at the website and find the list of the super users for your department. Thanks.
Yeah, so the go-to is that the super users will be able to help you out as much as possible. Then if they're not able to, help you on that sense, then you will escalate to either me and my team, or if it's technical, would be, as everybody knows, Pablo or Gio. So yeah, I definitely urge everyone, once the training material is complete, definitely take the course, review all the job aids as much as possible. But again, I'm here 100%. I'm not going anywhere until everybody's adopted to the software. And you guys have my number, so just feel free to call me or ping me, send me a message on Teams. Best way is to send me a message on Teams because I get a lot of emails. So yeah.
Now, Jorge, you're going to get a lot of chat messages.
Yeah, I know.
This is Juliet, everyone. And just around the training thing, I shared the link to the microsite for Ariba, which has all that good information that Lucy was sharing with you all. If you don't have it, it's just an opportunity to click on it quickly and have it accessible.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate your time, and we'll be following up with a recording from this demo. Have a great afternoon. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, how do we make the fee change? Or is that something we
don't have to pay.
Well,
What
we
we
did
did for all our life, right? It's run out.
did we make it or?